Welcome back to Dow's Twang. I'm Dave. We'll call it a two chord jam here. A 5-1 in B flat. Now, there's actually three chords in here, but for practical terms, the main substance of it is this 5 resolving to this 1 sound, okay? But I am hitting two doors down from the F, that E flat major triad, on the way down there. Like, F, E flat, and B flat. Okay? And I do play some triads in that, I did in that intro, and what I'm going to show you here, starting in just a second. I do, go down and play an E flat triad there occasionally, not every time. So that's what's going on with the progression. And then, just real quick, without getting tedious about this, this might be a good little opportunity to point something out about that. I get a lot of questions about why'd you pick B flat? Why not F? It starts on F, F major. How do you know what the key analysis? Okay, and you know honestly, my process a lot of times, not a lot of times, I have a theoretical idea that's already kind of solved in my head, but you don't have to answer all the theory questions before you start playing. Very often, I come up with some chords that I like, and then I start messing around with different scales. This is behind the scenes of Tao Drawing, right? And I have to, I still have to, I can't do it all in my head, right? I have to listen to different sounds and see what's working. So in this case, since it starts on F, and it's F major, the chord. Let's just try an F major scale. That'd be a sensible place to start looking, right? Okay, now, it's all good to my ear until I get to that. Okay, in different parts of that chord pattern, it wouldn't be impossible to use that note, but doesn't sound very pleasant, okay? So, still investigating. What if I do the other main chord in this piece is B flat? What if I try a B flat major scale? Okay, well, that sounds a lot better to me. Now, you don't always want everything to sound, just perfectly, you don't want to get vanilla with it where everything is just right in the key all the time and there's no, blue notes and so forth. But that's how you hunt down one way, at least, that you can kind of do your own investigation of what key you're in. And then once you realize that you hear that B flat scale is really more appropriate, then it's like, okay, that tells you that one way to address this is making that your one chord, that major scale, right? And the triad that goes with it, and that would make our F the 5 chord. Okay, so I don't spend too much time on that, but I get a lot of questions of that nature, and so I'm going to throw in a little bit here and there where I can to sort of demystify some of that. And there's some other theoretical aspects of that we could discuss. Here's something that's really cool, though. In a lot of blues playing and roots rock stuff, the major pentatonic scales don't have a seventh. They skip over the seventh. That's one of the, there's only 5 notes in the scale, not 7. And the 7th is one of the ones that's omitted. So now, if that note E there was kind of our problem note over that F, that the F major pentatonic is going to exclude that. Okay, Well, kind of bypassed the problem there, right? Now, here's what's really cool. Apply this, if that works for the F, the B's not going to be a problem. The B flat, sorry. It's going to be able to, it's a major triad. The 1 and the 5 are real interchangeable with this major pentatonic thing. So check this out. Okay, see what happened there? This is really kind of the meat and potatoes of today's deal. That little boogie woogie bass line thing. And there's a lot of different ways you can do that. I did a little. I'm going up to that, kind of making like a flat 7 sound there for each one of them, right? You might think, no, wait a minute. Now, you just said you weren't going to do that on the B flat, but when you put it in the context of that kind of boogie woogie thing, it works. Okay, so don't get hung up too much on the theory of that. It works. Now, and what I did in that intro was I really just built on that kind of boogie woogie motif, and I just went into different higher positions and then put bends and some other harmonies and things in with it, and then did a couple of distinctive, real deliberate triad things. Right. Sorry, got my fingers jumbled up, didn't I? But I knew which notes, I knew which sound I was looking for there. So check this out. Now you can start down here. Well, let me show you kind of slowed down. Okay. Now you can go kind of all the way up the scale like that, or you can do kind of the walking back. I like to just kind of one fret that back into that third of each one, because that's root, third, fifth. So when I go, I'm ending up on the third A, and then when I do it for the B flat, it's the same physical pattern. Okay, so just go with that if you're not that used to those kinds of licks, and then we'll work on moving them up to different positions and octaves. So something like this. Okay. Now I slipped a couple of those little triad licks in there. Those sound nice, and if you in the midst of other phrasings and single note stuff you're doing, you don't have to do anything real fancy with those sometimes. It's just switching over to that technique, is good composition, right? You don't have to it's kind of like you're pulling out of the the full on soloing for a second and kind of, checking in with the band and being part of the rhythm section and then going back to the single note stuff. And that's really cool. So the routine on this is, start off down here. And you can do different, ways of, ending the statement, and, play around with different variations of that. And then, move it up and just start on the roots in higher octaves. So that's F. Okay. Had to kind of, check it out there for my next move, right? So slow things down, don't worry about always playing with the track at first. And it's really good ear training and practice, really overall, to not always have the chords behind you because you're seeking out those chord tones to kind of carry that definition of the progression along with you in your single note playing. That's really getting, you're really training your musical ear when you can move around like that and kind of tell where you are in the progression even without the chords being there. And it gives you a chance to go at the appropriate speed. So then you could go up and get into other positions. All right. Another great thing about this system that we're using right now is the thing I like most about it is it keeps you on track. It keeps you in a musical, motif and kind of, it makes an arrangement out of itself that has a theme. But it also puts you in a position to land in good places, not just always on the root. Like when I went up there, come down and end on that. I'm on the B flat in the progression, but I'm ending on F, the fifth of B flat. That sounds good, right? Here's what I mean. It's real simple to do, and your ear might just lead you that way, but if you do it deliberately, you'll really up-level your style, almost immediately. Now, see, not until the very end of that did I go to the roots. Okay, well, let me leave that on. Now, over the F, I'm playing the note C, which is the fifth of the F. And there, it's F. The note is F, which is the fifth of the B flat. So mix those fifths in there with this other thing. That's a great little system. Leave it there as far as the instruction on this today and just leave you with a couple of thoughts. The first one is, the practice routine for this. I'll put a bit of that loop on here for you to practice with and, just really go with that boogie woogie thing, get real comfortable with that, then start making a few little, variations in your statement and how you end those statements. Check it out in the next octave up and maybe even get up into another position up here. Work off of your roots to find those main patterns, right? Main sequences, and then start looking for that fifth. Find out where the C is for the F, and the F is over the B flat, and kind of hunt those down and land on them and make bends and things that lead you to landing on those notes. And you're going to be sounding, pretty. Those are some pretty sophisticated ideas, right? They're not like these aren't like beginner things that you're going to do, and then later on you're going to do something, way cooler than that. That's pretty good stuff. It's just the how you work with it, how you shape that with your own language. So let me know how this one goes. I'll talk to you soon.